We will begin tonight with the very latest news about Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant, who met today with the NBA's commissioner Adam Silver, and it was announced that Morant has been suspended 8 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league in connection with a March 4th live stream in which Morant was holding a firearm while in an intoxicated state in a Denver nightclub. The suspension retroactively includes the 5 games Morant has already missed, so he is eligible to rejoin the Grizzlies in Dallas on Monday. Woj will tell us in a moment not to expect him back so quickly. Commissioner Silver made the following statement: Ja's conduct was irresponsible, reckless, and potentially very dangerous. It also has serious consequences given his enormous following and influence, particularly among young fans who look up to him. He has expressed sincere contrition and remorse for his behavior. Ja has also made it clear to me that he has learned from this incident and that he understands his obligations and responsibility to the Memphis Grizzlies and the broader NBA community extend well beyond his play on the court. Jalen spoke with Ja Morant this afternoon following that meeting.
Adam Silver, what was that meeting like?
It was good. Pretty much, an open discussion. Obviously, he said, things, I need to, be better at, but, more of just, showing his support towards me, and I accepted that. And, I also, sent my apologies, to everybody, the league, myself, my teammates, my family for, putting that negativity towards, all of us with a, bad decision.
You at the spot, Shotgun Willie's. I've been there. You were holding a gun. And we both know how dangerous that can be. Whose gun were you holding?
Well, the gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take full responsibility for my actions. Made a bad mistake, and I can see the image that I painted over myself with my recent mistakes. But in the future, I'm gonna show everybody who Ja really is, what I'm about, and change this narrative that everybody got painted over me.
In particular, if you don't mind getting into detail, like what were you doing these last 10 days, and what did it teach you about yourself?
Just learning, I can open up. I can, express my feelings, and that it's, okay to be able to express your feelings. So, I was constantly, talking to therapists. I've been doing, Reiki treatment. I've been doing anxiety breathing, different stuff to, help me manage that and, release, all that stuff from my body.
Do you take pride in being a role model?
I do. And, I realize, I have a lot of kids, who look up to me, even, probably some adults, a lot of fans. And I realize, my past mistakes isn't being, a good role model. So just got to be better in that area, be more responsible, be smarter, and, make better decisions.
So that interview is from this afternoon here in New York City, and it will air, a longer version of it will air tonight on Scott Van Pelt Sports Center after our NBA doubleheader. You see Michael Wilbon, who's with us as promised from Phoenix tonight. But Jalen, I will start with you. What more can you share with us about your conversation with Ja?
That he was willing to open up about a series of poor decisions. Of course, we're going to highlight what happened in Denver at the strip club with the gun. But over the last couple of years, it's been multiple things that he found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was an alleged incident with his sister as it related to volleyball, a situation as it related to his mom at the mall, the situation with the Indiana Pacers staff post-game. And so I got a chance to talk to him about those things. I got a chance to talk to him about the alleged gang signs that people said that he throws up when he's out there playing ball. And the main thing I got from him is humility. He's a young person, 23 years of age, and this is the best thing that could have happened to him at this point of his life. All of us have been put in positions to where we need to seek help, but may not do it. He actually did it. And I could tell that he's going to be a better man because of it, and it's going to be a residual effect for the rest of his life.
So, Stephen A., you've had some time to digest now. We watched that interview together just a short time ago. What are your thoughts?
Humility is a very, very powerful thing, and clearly he's been humbled. I think we have to walk away thinking about that, the level of contrition that he showed. While we appreciate it and we should, he is 23 years old. He's a young man, but he's still a man. And the reality is that one could easily argue that he, along with a cadre of individuals in his life, were feeling themselves. You got a 5-year, potentially $231 million contract scheduled to kick in after this season. You had Coca-Cola deals, you had a Powerade deal, you had a Nike deal, and all of this other stuff. So the opportunities are boundless, they're endless. And a lot of times when you are successful, first of all, you're going to feel yourself to some degree when you're that young. What makes it worse is when you're surrounded by people who are feeling themselves acting as if they are you, that they have the same perks and the same luxuries and that they've earned it themselves. And when you have those folks in your life, everybody has to check themselves, and not just for yourself, but also for Ja Morant, because for all intents and purposes, he's the meal ticket. And so when you look at it from that perspective, we got to speak in a straight language when it comes to stuff like that. This man is spectacular. He's a future face of the NBA. He's a star right now. He's a box office individual right now. He knows it, everybody else knows it, and the world told him that. And unfortunately, it appears when you hear about the sister, the mom, people talk about his dad, stuff like that. Listen, they could very well be innocent in terms of the incidences that they have found themselves in. But evidently, people knew who they were. And because they knew who they were, that made them a target because it's a way to get to him. You got to see stuff like that. And you don't have to be 30 or 40 years old in the league for 20 years to envision that, to recognize the fact that you have to watch yourself and watch who you keep around you, because that's how you insulate and protect yourself from stuff like this.
And Michael Wilbon again is with us from Arizona tonight. Michael, as you listen to Ja's conversation there with Jalen, what thoughts went through your mind?
Well, first of all, kudos to Jalen for getting him to sit and talk about this, and for us to be able to hear it. I'm going to be a little harsh. I got to hear more than the expression of contrition. And by the way, everything everybody said so far, I hear you. I agree with that, because you got to start there. But there better be a real turn in behavior right now. Right now. No more promises. I mean, we've seen a ton of athletes, entertainers, politicians. They can promise, they can express contrition, but what's the behavior like? Is Ja Morant ready to tell people, get out of my life? You're out. You're done now. I've got to take hold of this. Do you realize the money we just talked about with the launch of a soft drink that ain't out this week? The launch of a new sneaker from Nike that ain't out this week. I know, because I told my son, who's 14, and he's one of the people in this generation to whom Ja Morant is like a Pied Piper. No, you can't have those shoes. You're not getting those. We're going to figure out what is going on here with Ja Morant. So if I'm just one guy telling his kid that, what do you think this cost him? We heard about Woj saying it cost him $700,000 in salary. How about the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in the soft drink launch and the shoe launch? Really, if it's just that selfish, you need to change your behavior, and it's not that selfish. You represent so many other interests, and part of that is your own with safety. You did something that could have been much more dangerous to your health and risky. What are you going to do besides express contrition? And are the Memphis Grizzlies in the NBA, yes, are they willing to support him at that age? Look, anybody knows you walk into the commissioner's office, whether it's David Stern, who was much more the hanging judge, or his successor, Adam Silver, who's done a fine job in this league. Regardless of who's sitting there, you're going to express contrition. Now what? What was he going to do? Roll in and say, hey, I'm here, Adam. What we doing today? What we talking about? No. He started at ground zero. Now what? This is on him. It's on the people close to him. It may be on people who need to be a whole lot tougher to say, I'm not your friend today. I'm in your face. And Ja Morant's not the only one. We've all been there. Everybody on that set has been there. I've been there, 23, 24 years old, when you needed to be better. It's time for Ja Morant to be better, right? I'm not talking about basketball. He's great. We already know that. He's first team All-NBA. What about his life? You see what's happened in Georgia and Alabama. We've seen what's going on when young people are not marshaled in the proper direction and made to be accountable and responsible and maybe even fearful. It's time for Ja Morant to get that now.
It's powerfully said. Again, you will be able to see the entirety of the interview tonight. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.